came to the department in 2008 after recently completing my PhD from the Indiana University School of Journalism and Mass Communication in Bloomington, Indiana. So that would be 6 years now. I've been working on a large-scale book project for about the last 10 years, and it's just recently been published under the title, The Battle Over Marriage, Gay Rights Activism Through the Media. And so a lot of students will ask, why did it take you 10 years to write a book? But it really does take that long, oftentimes, to do the kind of work and research in the field that we're doing here at the college. And so I actually started the project as a PhD student. And at the time, as I still am now, I was very fascinated with the issues surrounding media and social change. That's really at the heart of my work, is to see social change and how it transforms inside society and culture, and then thinking about what is the role of media in that overall change and transformation. For someone that's interested in media and social change, that's how I came to that particular project, was in looking at how mainstream news coverage is perhaps framing or shaping that debate. And along with that, how are they portraying the lives of gay and lesbian citizens, which again have been oftentimes misunderstood and misrepresented in the media culture prior, and I would argue still are now today. But that marriage conversation has been a very different one for us to have surrounding gay and lesbian identity, because now we're talking about families, we're talking about kids of gay and lesbian couples, we're talking about gays and lesbians as citizens, as equal citizens in, at least under this issue of relationship recognition. What I try to do, of course, is to, rather than for me to have my examples or my issues or my case studies, is to draw from my students. What are the things that they're interested in? What are the things that they're watching right now? What are the things that they're seeing in social media? So if I can bring them a strong theoretical understanding, core concepts, key skills, and then ask them to, okay, so you modernize this, right? You update this. You go find me examples from your own media diets that I ask them to do constantly. Then that really not only animates the contemporary issues and their interests, but it also makes them collaborators in the classroom. And it also teaches me a lot of things that I would have missed if I hadn't opened myself up to learning from my students. I left my undergrad in the mid-90s and then went to work for in public relations and marketing for a number of huge firms, one of which was WebMD, and really, really enjoyed my time in PR and marketing. But what I noticed was the most fulfilling for me was working with mostly people your age, students, as interns, or those recent college graduates who had come into the fold, and I was their manager. And I worked with these students in teaching them how to write, teaching them how to think critically, teaching them how to make sense of a bunch of data, how to conduct research, all of these things that are really, that's teaching, that's mentoring in a very sort of one-on-one or small group setting. And that's what I was most excited about, and I thought, why don't I just go do that full time? Because it's really the most fulfilling part of my job, is working with young people and in that kind of teaching capacity. What I tell students is to focus more on your skills and competencies than in training for a very sort of narrow or particular corner of the field that you may or may not work in. I think for a lot of students, if you ask most students in our program, and probably across the college, heck, maybe even across the nation, what do you want to do with your degree? Oftentimes they can't give you an answer, right? It's that I don't know yet, and they're like terrified in saying so. And I say that's okay, right? As long as you focus on these skills and competencies, then you'll be able to employ them or use them in a wide variety of different contexts. And it can be hard, it can be frightening to think about, life that way.